We're going to make beef stew tonight. First, I'm going to season this with a little bit of salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And then I'm going to put it in here and with a little bit of butter, and we're going to sear it. Then I'm going to cut it up in chunks. And as soon as we get it in the pot, I'm going to come right back. So while we got that searing, I'm going to cut up some mushrooms, some bell peppers, onions, and celery. And when that gets done searing, I'm going to take it out to cut it up and let it cool off. I'm going to throw this in the pot to get this searing. So we are searing away. We're going to go ahead and flip this one over. And then it gets on the side. We're going to hold it for a minute. It is smelling so good. You peed? Great job. Let that side go a bit more. High five. There's all my cut up vegetables. There is the roast that we're going to cut up and dice up. And there is a good searing pot. So we're going to dump this into this and saute that. So the onions, bell pepper, mushroom, and celery is getting pretty sauteed. I also have the meat all diced up and ready to go back in the pot. So once this is good and tender, I'm going to put this back in there. We're going to add a little bit of vegetable oil, bring it to a fry, and then add some flour to make it thick for the beef stew. Okay, so that was good and sauteed enough, so we're going to dump the meat in there. And then I like to add a little bit of parsley. That should do it. I use the Zatarain parsley stick. Then I'm going to add some garlic because I forgot to cut up garlic to put in there. So I'm just going to cheat and use this. So that's about a tablespoon of garlic, and I don't know, about a tablespoon of parsley, I would say. And we're going to wait until this browns, and then we're going to add some oil. And then we're going to add some flour. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of oil now, but I'm going to add a little bit more in a second. So I went ahead and I added in, I know it's hard to see, but I went ahead and added in the flour. Basically, you want to add in enough flour to dry up the moisture. I'm not really sure why the pot is steaming as much as it is, but it just is. So once you dry up the moisture, you just want to like allow it to brown to about like when it looks like this. So we're going to brown this, and then we're going to add in, after we brown that, I cheat when I make it, and I use this for extra seasoning. I don't follow the instructions in the back. I do mine differently. I just use this to add in a little extra flavor. Adding in the flour in the seasoning pack with a little bit of oil, it gave it like that extra thick that you're going to want it to have, because that's what's going to make your gravy thick. It's kind of like almost glue, but that's a good sign. I might do a little bit more flour. It's not going to hurt anything. And a little bit more oil to make it a little bit thicker, because of the fact that I do have so much in this pot that I don't want my water to be runny. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and let that cook down a little bit. And also, since my pot is sticking pretty good, I'm going to add in a little bit of water to kind of, so it doesn't really burn. You really want to watch how much oil you put, because you don't want it to be oily. So I'm just going to add like a little dab of oil like that. And there's my measuring cup. I'm gonna add in a little bit of water. I'd say about 1/4 cup of water. So it's 1/4 cup. You put that in there too. That way it will extra thicken up. Put it back on the eye. I had to take it off the eye so that y'all could see what I was doing. And I'm gonna bring this back to a simmer. And then after this simmers, I'm gonna add water. I'm dicing up potatoes, and I'm going to put the potatoes in there with the water and get them tender. So now we added water, we get the gravy pretty nice and thickly placed. You can tell by the way it's stirring. So we're going to go ahead and add in these potatoes. First, what you want to do is you want to take out a piece of meat You can set it right here, and you want to see how tender the meat is. See, it's still pretty tough, so it needs to boil some more, but also the potatoes need to cook. So I'm gonna drop in these potatoes, and I'm also gonna add, I added 7 cups of water the first time. I'm gonna add in more water because it's starting to stick to the bottom of the pot pretty good because of how thick the gravy is. You can always make it more watery because when you bring down the water, you can always re-thicken it up. So we're going to push that back on the eye, and we're going to put some more water. So the meat's pretty tender, and so is the potatoes. So lastly, what I'm going to add in is 2 cans of green beans and 2 cans of carrots. The reason I add these in last is because I use cans, and whenever you use canned green beans, they're already partially cooked, so you don't want to add them in halfway through cooking it because then they'll be overcooked and they kind of taste horrible. So I'm going to stir this and let this go about 10 minutes, I would say. And then it'll be good to go. And then cut it off, let it cool off, and I'm going to bowl it up and freeze it.